Hello and good evening from Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. 956sports.com bringing you live play-by-play of the Laredo Martin Tigers visiting the Pioneer Diamondbacks in a District 31 5A matchup tonight. We are getting ready for both teams to head out of their respective tunnels. Actually, first off, before that happens, we will get the coin toss as the referees bring the respective captains to the middle of the field for Pioneer. Their captains tonight from left to right, senior Tyler Bultice, Logan Harris, Jacob Rosales, and Angel Chapa. For the Laredo Martin Tigers, their captains, Angel Davila, Matthew Carrion, Federico Mendez, and the big man, Anthony Alcorta. The referees are bringing them to the middle and explaining the coin toss. This is a huge, huge game tonight as we are in week 10 of 11 of high school football here in the state of Texas. And it is win or basically go home for both of these teams. They will both have a win next week, but a game next week, I should say, both Laredo Martin and Pioneer. Pioneer has won the toss. Laredo Martin will kick off from the north end zone. As I was saying, a huge game for both of these teams, one of which would be eliminated with a loss tonight from the playoff picture. Playoff picture looks like this, with Mission Veterans on top of it at 6-0. They play tonight against Sharyland. Sharyland has also clinched a playoff spot at 5-1. Laredo Nixon played last night and in a 16-6 win over Valley View. They also clinched a playoff spot at 6-1. So only one playoff spot remaining in District 31 5A. It will be filled by either the Laredo Martin Tigers, who you see now coming out of onto the field. Bring with them an American flag, Texas flag, and their own Martin Tigers flag. And here come the Pioneer Diamondbacks onto the field as well. One playoff spot remaining in District 31 5A. It will be filled by either Rio Grande City, Pioneer, or Laredo Martin. And tonight, an elimination game will get rid of one of those three. As we mentioned, Sharyland Mission Veterans is the other big game in 31 5A tonight, and it's the one we will keep track of and keep you abreast of. But tonight, from Mission, Texas, in Thompson Stadium, the Sharyland Independent School District brings you the Pioneer Diamondbacks hosting the Martin Tigers. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Clay Williams, bringing you the live play-by-play for 956sports.com, and thank you for joining us there. As Laredo Martin comes out onto the field and prepares for the opening kickoff. Not many fans making their way down from Laredo to support the Martin Tigers, but the band is in fine form tonight. Definitely not as many as came down last week to this very stadium to watch the Nixon Mustangs take on the Sharyland Rattlers. But tonight, Laredo Martin and the Pioneer Diamondbacks getting ready to kick off first quarter action. A beautiful night for football. A little humid. It's a short kick, very short kick. Fair catch was signaled, but no one caught it. And after the short kick, Laredo Martin comes up with a football. A huge, huge play to start the game as Laredo Martin recovers the football off the kickoff. It was a short kick, went about, I guess, 25 yards, but no one from Pioneer was able to get their mitts on it, and so the Laredo Martin Tigers will start with the ball on the Pioneer 39-yard line. What a big special teams play to start the game for Laredo Martin as they get their offense going. Under center, Matthew Duran. He hands it off to Martinez. Takes it all the way down to about the 19-yard line. That is a 20-yard gain for Martin. And the Martin offense is already marching down the field. Already 1st and 10, Laredo Martin at the Pioneer 19-yard line. And it's a handoff. It's taken down. First and goal for the Tigers as Daniel Martinez takes it all the way down to the 6-yard line of Pioneer. Injured player on the field for the Diamondbacks. That's Josh Olivares. So a special teams turnover to start the game, and 2 rushes later, Laredo Martin now has 1st and goal from the Pioneer, looks like 5-yard line. Pioneers defense has been their Achilles heel this entire season. Out of all the teams in the Rio Grande Valley, at least, not counting Laredo, but at all the teams down in Hidalgo County, they have the least effective defense of any. So that'd be 6 teams down here, and they're unable to do much on defense. Their offense, pretty potent, 2nd best, but here come the Tigers, and the handoff goes to number 13 again. And it's Daniel Martinez who takes it in for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown for Daniel Martinez opens the scoring tonight in Mission, Texas. And Laredo Martin has taken a lead over the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Martin preparing for the extra point. Here's the snap, the hold, it's up, and it is good. Abraham Escamilla kicks the extra point, and with 11:16 remaining in the first quarter here in Mission, your score I'm sorry, that kick was not good. So, with 11:16 remaining in the first quarter, your score, Laredo Martin 6, Pioneer 0. Pioneer now will have another chance. They were supposed to receive, of course, having won the toss. But a fumble on the kickoff led to 6 quick points for Laredo Martin. Coach Jason Wheeler's team coming out and going to try and start it all over again, this time with a 6-0 deficit staring them in the face. In this elimination game in District 31, 5A. Once again, Abraham Escamilla, the kicker, preparing to kick off for the 2nd time in this game. Once again, it's a short kick. This time taken down by Roel Cajero, the leading receiver for the Diamondbacks. Comes down with it, and it will be good field position at the 38-yard line of Pioneer. Diamondbacks will start there, 1st and 10. Pioneer averaging almost 31 points per game with their offense. Jacob Rosales, the quarterback, back, and a quick pass goes into the hands of Enrique Hurtado, but then right back out again for an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line of Pioneer, as the Laredo Martin defensive backs had that one sniffed out pretty well. Jonathan Diaz on the tackle. Rosales in the shotgun, empty backfield. Rosales calls his own number and takes it up for a good, call it 6-yard gain. 6-yard gain up to about the 44-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd and 4 coming up for Pioneer. This time one back in the backfield. Enrique Hurtado back with Rosales. Handoff to Hurtado. No, it's a fake. Rosales keeps it, takes it around the left side, and gets the 1st down. Gain of about 6 yards for Rosales. Martin's defense bit on the fake, and Rosales was able to get around to the left side and take it into Martin Tiger territory, where the Pioneer Diamondbacks will start with it 1st and 10 on the Martin 48-yard line. Once again, empty backfield for Pioneer. Rosales back, steps back, looks, fakes, goes back the other way looking for someone and instead has to throw it away. No receivers were open. Pioneer quarterback has to throw it away with the Martin defense bearing down upon him, and specifically number 12, Brandon Mejorado. Rosales looks to the sidelines for the next play call. 10.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Laredo Martin up 6-0 on Pioneer. Full backfield. Fake the handoff. Rosales takes it himself, but gets stuffed. Looks like they're going to give him a 3-yard gain. That's a generous spot right there, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for Pioneer as they make it to the Martin 45-yard line. Pioneer heading from south to north during this quarter. Rosales in the shotgun, looking right. Almost intercepted by number 8, Martin Silva of Laredo Martin, but instead it goes out of bounds. And that'll bring up 4th and 7 for Pioneer. 4th and 7. And down 6-0. Jason Wheeler's team will go for it here. Rosales in the backfield. Looking deep. Going deep. Heading down. Oh, Hurtado was down and looked like he had a chance to catch it, but was tripped up at the last second. Went down. Incomplete pass at about the 8-yard line. Offsides called on the Martin defense. So that will shorten it, that'll keep it 4th down. And now, instead of 4th and 7, it's 4th and 2 on the 40-yard line of Martin. That's a lucky play for Pioneer. Snap to Rosales. Fakes the handoff once again, and Rosales takes it outside. Takes it inside and then outside before taken down for about a 4-yard gain and a 1st down for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. First down for Pioneer in the no-huddle offense. Rosales fakes the handoff, play action. Oh, my goodness. Complete pass to Diego Perez, but he is shut down by Cesar Jimenez of the Martin Tigers after about a 3-yard gain. That was a hard hit in the flats. as it was a tough play for Diego Perez to come up with. Caught the ball, turned around, and faced Jimenez with a helmet right in the chest. 2nd down and 7. Rosales, the pass in the flats to number 23, Logan Harris, who takes it down for a Pioneer 1st down. From the 31 down to the 22, that's a 9-yard gain. 1st down, Pioneer Diamondbacks. So, 1st and 10 on the Martin 22 for Pioneer. Rosales in the shotgun. Hands it off to Logan Harris. Logan Harris getting some big yardage and some big blocks right up the middle and gets another 1st down. Takes it all the way down. 12-yard gain for Logan Harris down to the 10-yard line of Martin. And they will not stop. Once again, it's a no-huddle offense, but there's a flag on the play. Rosales trying to get his team up to the line in time to perhaps get an offsides count on the Martin defense. And they did get the offsides on the defense. Pioneer up to the line very quickly, and instead of a 2-yard loss, it's a 5-yard gain down to the 5-yard line for Pioneer's Diamondbacks. 1st and goal from the 5 for Pioneer. Looking to tie it up, perhaps take a lead, down 6-0 in the 1st quarter. Rosales going to the corner of the end zone, left corner, but it's far outside. No chance there for Hurtado to come up with it. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5 for Pioneer. Pioneer coming back with it. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and Harris in the middle. Fake to Harris. Rosales once again goes to the end zone, and this time finds a wide open Diego Perez for the touchdown. Touchdown, Pioneer Diamondbacks. There was no coverage on that one. Perez all alone in the end zone. Rosales had no problem finding him. An easy pitch and catch. And Pioneer is on the scoreboard. Edgar Lozano, the Diamondbacks kicker. Stutter step. And it's blocked. Lozano was going up to kick it, then stepped back. Tried to take another whack at it, but by that time Martin was all over it. And we are tied with 8:21 in the 1st quarter. Your score, Laredo Martin 6, Pioneer 6 at Thompson Stadium in Mission. Thank you so much for listening to live play-by-play of Sharyland ISD football on 956sports.com. I want to thank our sponsors, Marco's Burgers and McDonald's. They help us bring you live play-by-play action of Sharyland ISD football. Of course, as you are listening to this live, no video, of course, due to UIL rules, but later on 956sports.com, you'll be able to watch the game in its entirety. And you will see right now that we are tied 6-6. A huge, huge elimination game in District 31 5A. Both of these teams with identical records. Laredo Martin at 4-4 overall, 3-3 in district. Pioneer exactly the same, 4-4 overall, 3-3 in district. The kickoff goes deep to the 1-yard line where it's fielded by Angel Davila, who takes it out to the 12, 13-yard line before he is met by a host of Diamondbacks. Very good coverage on the kickoff by the Pioneer Special Teams unit. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Martin Tigers from their own 14-yard line. Martin's first offensive possession, of course, they started at the Pioneer 39 due to a muffed kickoff. This time, not nearly as good field position. Martin starting off with it, and the handoff right up the middle to number 13, Daniel Martinez. He has been the workhorse for Laredo Martin so far in this game. Gets about a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 from Laredo Martin's own 17-yard line. Unlike the no-huddle offense of Pioneer, Laredo Martin's offense gets in the huddle and gives me a chance to breathe. I appreciate that. A couple of weeks ago when I was here for a Pioneer game, there were 2 no-huddle teams. Thought I was going to turn blue for a second. Handoff. Once again, this time it is Martin taking it around the left side. This time it's the handoff to Jose Castaneda, who takes it around the right side and gets the first down, just barely, but gets over the line. 1st and 10 for Laredo Martin on their own 23-yard line. Laredo Martin's offense uses many, many different weapons. Matthew Duran at number 24, an interesting number to have under center. Met at the line is Daniel Martinez and thrown for a loss by the Pioneer defense. Hunter Rodriguez, the linebacker, on the tackle there. And Laredo Martin loses a yard on that one. That will bring up 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 from their own 22. Under 6.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Got a tie score here in Mission, Texas. Richard Thompson Stadium is the place. 6-6 is the score between Martin and Pioneer. Martin up to the line. Duran is going to try and pitch, but instead try to take it himself and thrown for another loss. Another loss this time by, it looks like, Jacob Calvillo. Jacob Calvillo with the tackle for a loss. And on consecutive plays, the Laredo Martin offense, which looked so powerful in their first drive, has been thrown for consecutive losses. Now 3rd and 13 from their own 19-yard line for Laredo Martin. 3rd and 14, rather. In the shotgun, Duran, he's got a lot of Diamondbacks on him. He's going to take it around the left side all the way to the, there's a fumble on the play. Fumble on the play as Duran was trying to get the extra yard going out of bounds, and it is recovered by the Pioneer Diamondbacks. A big, big fumble recovery for Pioneer. Matthew Duran, the quarterback, was under intense pressure in 3rd and 14, trying to get out of bounds, but looking for that extra yard, and gets stripped right as he is about to go out of bounds and recovered by Pioneer. A big play there for number 32, Omar Garza, who comes up with it, and that gives it 1st and 10 on the 24-yard line for Pioneer. Rosales on the shotgun, calls his own number, gets about a 8-yard carry straight up the middle. That'll bring up 2nd and a short 2 from the 16-yard line. Pioneer moving. No huddle offense. Looking to take the lead for the first time in this game. Already deep in Martin territory. Rosales all alone in the backfield. Rosales looks to the right. Cannot quite get it to number 4, Roel Cajero, the leading receiver for Pioneer. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Diamondbacks. Third and 2. Pioneer on the Martin 16-yard line. Rosales once again takes it, and it will be close to a first down. Got about 2 yards It is a first down. First down, Diamondbacks. 1st and 10 on the Martin 14-yard line. Tie ball game, 6-6. First quarter. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. An elimination game in District 31 5A. Rosales, shotgun, looks left, finds at Diego Perez, who doesn't have much room at all, and as a matter of fact is thrown for about a 2-yard loss. Make it a 1-yard loss, call it 2nd and 11 from the Martin 15-yard line. Jacob Rosales, the Pioneer quarterback in shotgun, hands it off up the middle to Logan Harris. Logan Harris gets those yards back and a few more, about a 4-yard gain. That'll be about 3rd and 8. No, 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 for Pioneer. Rosales fakes the handoff, looks to the right, end zone. Oh! Had a receiver, but a fantastic pass break up there by number 5, Miguel Sanchez of Laredo Martin. I'm sorry, number 9, Angel Davila on the coverage for Laredo Martin. It was a pretty play. It was well drawn up, but Davila was Johnny on the spot to break it up. And that brings up 4th and 9 for Pioneer. 4th and 9 on their opponent's 14-yard line. They will not go for the field goal. Doesn't appear. Rosales in shotgun. Drops back. Looks to the end zone. And finds Roel Cajero for the touchdown. Roel Cajero splits the defense. There were 2 receivers and 2 defenders in the end zone, crossing pattern. And Rosales put it exactly where it needed to be, over the defense and into the waiting arms of Roel Cajero. Comes up with a touchdown for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Edgar Lozano for the kick. He missed his first point after attempt on the block. This one, there is no doubt, it is good. And with 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter, your score, Pioneer 13, Laredo Martin 6. Pioneer takes their first lead of the game. Laredo Martin has won 3 games in a row. It's the first time the Tigers have had a 3-game winning streak since 2006. 11 years ago, the last time Martin had a 3-game win streak. But now the Tigers find themselves trailing the homestanding Pioneer Diamondbacks 13-6. So, 3:04 remaining in the first quarter. Jacob Rosales, that is his, let's see, how many touchdowns is that for Rosales this year? 16 or 17, one or the other, passing. One of the top quarterbacks in his district. Here comes the kickoff for Pioneer. A deep kick goes out of the back of the end zone. And Martin will start with it on their own 25-yard line. First and 10, Laredo Martin on their own 25. Just over 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Pioneer known as a passing team. Martin looks to do the run. And they get about 2 yards on their first play from scrimmage. 2 yards from scrimmage for Daniel Martinez, who is the lead back for this Martin Tigers team. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 from their own 27 for Laredo Martin. Laredo Martin. Oh, fumble. Fumbled the snap, did quarterback Matthew Duron. He recovers it, however, but not after a 2-yard loss. So that means 3rd and 10 from their own 25-yard line for Laredo Martin. Third and 10, the Laredo Martin Tigers trailing here 13-6. Duran in the shotgun. The end around goes to Angel Davila, but he gets 1 yard. No, nothing. Taken out of bounds by the Pioneer defense that were ready for that. Were not fooled. And so on 4th down, loss on the play. About a 4-yard loss. 4th and 14 from the 21-yard line for Laredo Martin, who will have to punt. Back to punt for Martin. Number 84, Abraham Escamilla. It's a short punt. Pioneer coaches tell everyone to get away, and it only makes it to the 37-yard line. So only a 21-yard punt for Laredo Martin. That gives, to the 40-yard line. Went out a little further than I thought. Pioneer starts with it. 1st and 10 on Laredo Martin's 40-yard line. Rosales in the backfield. Looks left and finds Enrique Hurtado. Had his hands on it but could not keep a hold of it. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Rosales takes it up the middle himself. Gets a little running room. About a 6-yard gain. Bring up 3rd and 4. Rosales gets the ball quickly, jumps up. Looks to make a quick pass, knocked down quickly, but it's incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 3 for Pioneer. Pioneer on Martin's 34-yard line. Rosales in the backfield. Shotgun, gets the snap, being chased to the right. Looks deep to the end zone. He's got a wide open receiver, but just off the fingertips of Roel Cajero. Just can't keep up with it. And that will turn the ball over on downs to Laredo Martin. Cajero wide open. Broken towards the end zone down the right side. Rosales delivered the ball, but just an inch away from a touchdown catch. So Laredo Martin will start off with it as we are under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. 45 seconds left here until the second quarter with your score: Pioneer 13, Laredo Martin 6. Duran, handoff to Angel Davila, takes it around the left side, gets about 2 yards. He was headed towards the outside. He was in motion on the play. Two-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 from their own 35-yard line for the Martin Tigers. Duran stepping back to pass, goes deep to no one. Overthrown, and with 2 Pioneer defenders on the job down the left sideline. Just like that, it's 3rd and 8 for Martin on their own 35-yard line. The Pioneer defense has really stepped things up since the opening drive of Laredo Martin that gave them a 6-0 lead. Haven't allowed much since. Full backfield. 4 back there, including Duran. Duran takes it, was going to pitch, instead decides to call his own number, gets his first down and more. Big gain for Matthew Duran, the quarterback. Takes it on the option play. First down and much more. That is a 20-yard gain for Matthew Duran. 1 yard back. Call it a 19-yard gain. It'll be first, and that is the end of the first quarter, and that is how we'll end it. 1 quarter down in the books at Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. And your score, Pioneer 13, Laredo Martin 6. We'll begin the second quarter momentarily. And welcome back to Thompson Stadium, Mission, Texas. Pioneer Diamondbacks, Laredo Martin Tigers, 31-5A matchup tonight as we are in the next to last week of Valley High School football for 2017. Martin starts with it, 1st and 10 from the Pioneer 46-yard line. Going wide was number 22, Jose Castaneda, the sophomore running back for Martin. Gets about a 1 yard gain. 1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 for Laredo Martin. The handoff this time to Daniel Martinez. Gets about 4 more. That'll bring up about 3rd and 5, actually. 3rd and 5 for Laredo Martin on the 41-yard line of Pioneer. Handoff, Daniel Martinez gets the first down and a few more yards. Bulled his way through about 3 or 4 Diamondbacks defenders. Took them with him on the ride. Gets it all the way down to the 33-yard line, and that is where Laredo Martin will have a 1st and 10 on the Diamondbacks 33-yard line. Martin, handoff, Daniel Martinez gets 2 yards and no more. Met at the line, still gets 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 for Laredo Martin from the Pioneer 31-yard line. Here come the Martin Tigers. 2nd and 8. The handoff to Jose Castaneda. Absolutely no gain on the play. Big play for the Pioneer defense there. Bringing up 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 from the Pioneer 31 for Laredo Martin. They score up. Looks like offsides on the Martin Tigers. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll take it out, and instead of 3rd and 8, it'll be 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13 on the 36-yard line of the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Laredo Martin looking to the sidelines for the next play. And their head coach, David Charles. And instead, there'll be a timeout called. First timeout of the first half. That's called by Laredo Martin as they face third and a long 13. .9:26 left in the second quarter here in Mission, Texas. Thompson Stadium, the Pioneer Diamondbacks leading the Martin Tigers 13-6. Looked to be a referee's timeout, not a Laredo Martin timeout. Everyone back on the field and ready to go. Third and 13. Duran takes it to the left, pulls up, looks right. Almost had the first down play, but unable to keep a hold of it was Matthew Carrion of the Martin Tigers. Looked to keep his feet in bounds, and if he had caught the ball, it looked like it would have been a made catch as he was headed out past the sideline. Instead, that brings up 4th and 13 on the 36-yard line of the Diamondbacks for the Laredo Martin Tigers. Here comes Martin. Low snap. Duran gets it. Heads back, was looking for someone. Can't find anyone. Beautiful play defensed by Pioneer there. Pioneer's number 21, Jacob Calvillo, coming up with the big pass breakup. And so Laredo Martin will turn the ball over on downs. They went for it on 4th down to no avail. Pass broken up by Calvillo. And Pioneer will start with the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. Pioneer leading here 13-6. Both of these teams identical records, 4-4 overall, 3-3 in district. The handoff to number 23, Logan Harris, and he gets some good running room, gets about 9 yards. 9-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. Martin was so used to the play-action play that they didn't bite whenever Harris actually ended up with this. Harris again for the first down and much more. One to beat, but he is caught up, but he is into Martin territory. That's a 1st and 10 for the Pioneer Diamondbacks down at the Laredo Martin 45. No huddle. Pioneer, quick snap. Once again, Harris feeding him the ball as he tends to make some yards. This time, though, only about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Diamondbacks. Pioneer averaging 31 points per game, but they're letting up 32 points per game. Right now, though, the defense looking much better than that. Fake handoff to Harris. Rosales rolls left. Gets about, I think that's about a 1-yard loss, actually. Instead of 3rd and 8, it'll be 3rd and 9. 1-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 9 for Pioneer on the Martin 44-yard line. Rosales looks, quick pass over the middle, but in and out of the hands of William Proctor. And so that will bring up 4th and 9 for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Could see a quick kick here as Jacob Rosales is also the punter for this team, and it is a quick kick. Heads, Was about to take a Martin bounce. Pioneer comes up with it. Not the best quick kick in the world, but ends up with it. It'll be 1st and 10 for Martin on their own 35-yard line. Kick, the punt from Rosales came straight down on its end, knocked up a lot of those rubber pellets that make up the turf here. A full moon on hand in Mission, Texas. And a penalty called on the Laredo Martin offense. So instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15 from their own 30. The handoff to Daniel Martinez. Martinez taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. That'll bring up, 5-yard gain on the play. I was looking at the wrong yard marker. 2nd and 10 on their own 35 for Laredo Martin. The handoff once again to Daniel Martinez. Gets 2 yards and then driven back by the Pioneer defense. About a 2-yard, 3-yard gain. Call it 3rd and 7 for Laredo Martin. Seven minutes remaining in the first half of play. Pioneer leading Laredo Martin 13-6. Duran drops back, looks to pass, but overthrows his intended receiver, Matthew Carrion, and overthrows him by about 3 yards. That'll bring up 4th and 7 for Laredo Martin. The Pioneer defense has certainly tightened up. You can't really blame them for the first score that Laredo Martin had when the kickoff was muffed and they started basically on the 40-yard line of Pioneer. Laredo Martin back to punt. Abraham Escamilla sends a deep punt that goes through the hands of Tyler Bultice. He finally catches back up with it at the 2-yard line, makes up the amount that he lost going back to get it and more. And a fantastic return by Tyler Bultice when it looks like it could have been a horrible special teams play. Turns into pretty good field position. He gets it all the way out to the 30-yard line. That was a great punt by Escamilla. Got through the hands of Bultice. Finally gets back up with it at the 1 and makes some great moves until finally being taken out at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Pioneer on their own 30. Rosales with Harris in the backfield. Handoff. Not Harris. Michael Benavides gets his first carry of the game for Pioneer. 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7. Rosales, the snap, looking. Short pass to William Proctor, who comes up with it, but a huge hit delivered by Angel Davila made sure that 2 yards would be all that Proctor gained on that play. Brings up 3rd and 5 from the 35 of Pioneer. Rosales back in the shotgun, looks over the middle, tries to get it to Diego Perez right across the middle, but a little too much mustard on that pass. It's incomplete. That brings up 4th and 5 for Pioneer from their own 35-yard line. Looks like Pioneer wants to maybe take a timeout, but not until the play clock is gone down a little bit. Believe they're motioning at the Pioneer coaching staff wanted the play clock all the way down before they called the timeout. 5:43 left in the first half. It's 4th and 5 for the Pioneer Diamondbacks, leading this game 13-6. So they'll talk about it. Meanwhile, let's see if we can get you updated on the rest of 31-5A tonight. Interesting. Very interesting. Sherryland has a 21-7 lead on Mission Veterans tonight. This is halfway through the second quarter. Mission Veterans, of course, 8-0 on the season, 6-0 in district. Yet to lose, have yet to play at home. Timeout is over. Pioneer will look to punt. Looks like Tyler Boltice with the punt. Gets down to about the 33-yard line. And that is where Laredo Martin will start their offense. On their own 33. If this score holds down at Far Valley View's Tiger Stadium and Sherryland were to beat Mission Veterans tonight, that would make a three-way tie for first in this district with one to play. All three teams at 6-1, Mission Veterans, Sherryland, and Nixon. Meanwhile, the Laredo Martin Tigers set to run their offense. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. And looks like offsides again. Yeah, it's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15 for Laredo Martin, as now they will start from their own 28-yard line. Offsides penalties have plagued Martin in this game. But now they'll get started. 1st and 15 for the Martin Tigers. The handoff goes outside, looking for some room, any room, and making it back to the original line of scrimmage is Jose Castaneda. Just outside the original line of scrimmage. Call it 2nd and a short 11. 2nd and a short 11 for the Martin Tigers from their own 32-yard line. The handoff. Timeout before the snap. No play. Second timeout of the game called by the Pioneer Diamondbacks. They've got one remaining this half. With 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first half, the Laredo Martin Tigers have yet to call a play. Have yet to call a timeout. Your score here from Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. Pioneer Diamondbacks lead the Martin Tigers 13-6. After tonight, one game left for both of these teams. Next week, Pioneer will head out to Starr County to take on the Roma Gladiators, who right now have the lead over Laredo Figueroa. Roma has yet to win a game this season, but currently in the lead at Shirley Field. And Martin will host Nixon. Handoff right there to breaking loose for the touchdown run is number 24, Matthew Duran. The Laredo Martin quarterback takes it around the right side and busts loose for what is a 68-yard touchdown. No flags on the play. A couple of hurdlers. He was made one tackler miss. Another tackler tried to push him out of bounds, but to no avail. And instead, it's a 68-yard touchdown for Matthew Duran of the Martin Tigers. Huge play there for Martin. Abraham Escamilla, the kicker. The snap is up. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:51 remaining in the first half, we have a tie game. Wait, there's a penalty on the play. Penalty on the extra point. Penalty must be on Sherryland because they are going to consult with David Charles, the head coach of Laredo Martin, the linesmen are. Looks like they want it enforced on the kickoff. Roughing the kicker is what is called. The extra point was good. And with 4:51 left in the second quarter, we have a tie ball game once again. Laredo Martin 13, Pioneer 13. And the roughing the kicker penalty will give Laredo Martin a kickoff from the Pioneer 45. Pioneer doesn't watch out here. They could end up with some pretty rotten field position with under 5 minutes to play in this first half. Abraham Escamilla gets ready to kick off, and kickoff he does. He makes it a short kick. Pioneer basically comes up with it. That was a close one. It was off the hands of Logan Harris, but he ends up coming up with the ball. And so Pioneer will start 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Whoop, penalty flag on the kickoff. Offsides on the kicking team rather than re-kick. Pioneer decides to take the 5 yards at the end of the run, and why not? Rather than give your opponent a chance to kick from the 50. Rather start with it at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 28 for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. It's a tie ball game here at Thompson Stadium in Mission. 13-13 is your score between Laredo Martin and the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Play clock just getting started. Rosales fake handoff and is sacked for a big loss back to the 20-yard line. That is an 8-yard loss. And my apologies, folks, that is not Jacob Rosales in at quarterback. That is Michael Morales. Michael Morales in at quarterback. Morales goes deep, but too deep. Overthrows Enrique Hurtado. And it'll be 3rd and 17 for Pioneer. Rosales appears to be over on the sidelines, being looked at. Morales, once again, intercepted this time. Intercepted at the 40-yard line by Jonathan Diaz. Michael Morales intercepted at the 40-yard line by Jonathan Diaz of the Martin Tigers. And that drive without Jacob Rosales did not go anywhere. And the turnover starts Martin with a 1st and 10 on the 40-yard line of the Pioneer Diamondbacks. We're under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Offsides again for the Martin Tigers. That has to be at least 5 offsides calls against their offense. So instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15 from the Pioneer 45 for the Martin Tigers. Another offsides. Martin cannot get out of their own way when it comes to offsides penalties. That'll bring up 1st and 20 from midfield. Martin had it on the 40 after the interception. Instead now at the 20. Running back stumbles and is dropped for another loss. It's about like a 2-yard loss after. And a big tackle there from Valdez. 2nd and 22 for Laredo Martin. Duran steps back, looks for a receiver, has one. Gets it to Matthew Carrion, who gets it for about a 13-yard gain. But that will still bring up 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 for Laredo Martin from the Pioneer 39-yard line. Duran drops back, looking to pass. Evades one tackler. Heads right. Motions for his receiver to go down the sidelines and throws a perfect pass and a catch to number 10, Matthew Carrion, who somehow came up with that in traffic. Had one Diamondback behind him, one in front of him, and still somehow brings in the catch, gets both feet in bounds, and comes up with a big catch. That makes it 1st and goal for Laredo Martin. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, but before they can get going, it's another penalty. Yet another offsides penalty. It's either 7 or 8 for the Tigers, who can't seem to stay onside. Instead of 1st and goal from the 9, it's now 1st and goal from the 14. Laredo Martin threatening in a tie ball game. 13-13 your score between Laredo Martin and Pioneer. Loser of this game, out of the playoff hunt. Duran back, he's going to take it himself. Goes around the right side, gets a good block, springs him for about a 6-7 yard gain. 7-yard gain for Duran, and that'll bring up 2nd and goal from about the 7-yard line for Laredo Martin. Chapa on the tackle for the Diamondbacks. Second and goal from the 7 for Laredo Martin. Driving on this one. Straight up the middle goes Daniel Martinez, met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And taken down in a hurry by number 47, Obed Hernandez. 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Huge play for Pioneers defense here. Duran hands it off to Daniel Martinez. Gets it all the way inside the 5-yard line down to about the 3, where it will be 4th and goal from the 3-yard line for Laredo Martin. They look to the sideline, see what Coach David Charles wants on this one. PA announcer exhorting the Pioneer crowd to get up and get loud. Meanwhile, Martin still hasn't decided what they're going to do on this play. They're taking it down before they call their first timeout of the first half. 1:22 left to play in the first half. Martin has a decision to make. 4th and goal from what is basically the 4-yard line of the Pioneer Diamondbacks. In a tie ball game, 13-13, where every decision is paramount. Pioneers quarterback Jacob Rosales still on the sideline, still with his shoulder pads off. He's not being treated, though, just on the sidelines, walking around, talking to teammates, but not putting the pads back on. They might want to look at him in the halftime locker room before they send him back out. Here we go. 4th and goal from the 4-yard line for Laredo Martin. Minute 22 left to play in the first half. Martin looking to break the tie. Duran takes it back. He's chased down, and he's taken down. Big play there by number 29, Angel Chapa, the linebacker. The senior for Pioneer comes up with the big play when his defense needs him. And Laredo Martin turns the ball over on downs. 4th and goal from the 4-yard line, and they get nothing. With a minute 15 to play, Pioneer will get the ball back. And they will take over 1st and 10 on their own 7-yard line. Coming back out, here come the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Who we have playing quarterback now for the Diamondbacks? It appears to be number 21, Jacob Calvillo. Penalty on the play. Looks like offsides on the Pioneer offense. Now it's Logan Harris at quarterback. Logan Harris at quarterback for... They're putting the running back in as a wildcat. He takes the ball, and he's just going to run it right up the middle. I think Pioneer might just want to get to the halftime locker room here. Harris gets about 6 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Timeout on the field. Minute 6 remaining in this game. So, we are tied 13-13. Pioneers junior quarterback Jacob Rosales, who has led this team most of the year, standing on the sidelines without his pads on. For the first series without Rosales, which was just the last offensive series, they put in Michael Morales at quarterback. He was intercepted. Now with just a minute remaining in the half, Pioneer has put in their running back, their leading running back, Logan Harris, basically what is a wildcat offense. So Pioneer having to make do here, 2nd and 9. Harris takes it straight up the middle, as you would guess, gets a good block, and gets about 5 yards on the play. Timeout called. This time it's the final timeout of the first half by Laredo Martin. With a minute remaining in this game and Pioneer's offense a bit askew with the loss of their quarterback, you would think Martin would try to take advantage of this if they can, perhaps get a shot at the end zone if they get some good field position here. Pioneer will have it 3rd and 6 from their own 12-yard line. And as we mentioned before, quarterback Jacob Rosales on the sidelines. All right, both teams back on the field. Exactly 1 minute remaining until halftime. Tie score 13-13, 3rd and 6 for Pioneer. Morales back in at quarterback. He hands it off to Michael Benavides. Benavides gets about 3 yards on the play, but that'll still bring up 4th and 6. So after 2 plays on the Wildcat, with Logan Harris at quarterback, they put Morales back in at quarterback. But with 30 seconds to play in this first half, Pioneer's going to try and run as much time off the clock before they punt. Play clock down to 10, game clock down to 20. And Pioneer with one last timeout, which they will call. So now the situation, 4th and 2 for Pioneer from their own 15-yard line, with only 13 seconds remaining in the half. Pioneer just trying to get to that halftime locker room. Martin hoping to take advantage and get a quick score before the break. Meanwhile, it was 28-7 Sharyland, but Mission Veterans has scored 14 quick points, and as they are very close to the halftime mark down in Hidalgo, or in Far, score is Sharyland up 28-21 on Mission Veterans. But here comes the punt for Pioneer. Bultice punts it. Gets it all the way down to the 49, 48-yard line, and that's where it will stop. Good punt by Bultice. Took some time off the clock. And Martin will start with a 1st and 10 from the Pioneer 48, but with only 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Five seconds left until halftime. Martin starts with it. 1st and 10 on the 48. They get the ball. Handoff to number 22, Jose Castaneda, but he is taken down for no gain, and that is the end of the first half of play at Thompson Stadium in Mission. Pioneer and Laredo Martin are headed to the locker room, and they are both tied at 13 apiece. You are listening to Sharyland ISD football on 956sports.com. I'm Clay Williams. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to take a break for a second. As halftime has begun, your score tied at 13 between Pioneer and Laredo Martin. Hello and welcome back to Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. We're getting ready to start the second half of play here in District 31 5A with a tie ball game. Laredo Martin 13, Pioneer 13 is your current score. As we get ready for the kickoff, Pioneer won the toss, elected to receive. So will be Laredo Martin receiving to begin the second half. The big story here is the loss of Pioneers star quarterback Jacob Rosales, the junior, who it does not look to appear to be back. There he is, and he is in shorts. He is in his jersey, but he is in shorts. He will not be back to play in this game. So the man who has led the Diamondbacks offense for the better part of 2 seasons is out of the game. Doesn't look to have any injury that we can see. He always wore a flak jacket underneath his pads on his shoulder anyway, with the protection on his shoulder. Doesn't appear to be walking. Probably no tape on the ankles, the wrists, perhaps concussion protocol. We can only guess. But Jacob Rosales is out, but the kickoff is underway. And Laredo Martin starts with it back on their 1, but back comes number 9, Angel Davila, with a return, and a good return, 20-yard return, out to about the 21-yard line of Laredo Martin. And that is where the Martin Tigers will start the second half of play. 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line for Martin. This is a huge game, as we have been telling you, in District 31 5A, basically an elimination game. Only one playoff spot left for grabs in District 31 5A. 3 teams vying for it between Rio Grande City and these 2 teams. Rio Grande City on a bye this week. They will not win or lose. Injured player for Pioneer on the kickoff, but Jacob Calvillo is running off under his own power. Looks to be just fine. No problems there. First and 10 for Martin. Roll out to the left and completed pass from Duran, who gets it all to Matthew Carrion. Completed about a 25-yard pass, about a 15-yard pass to the 35, and Carrion takes it another 15 for a 30-yard gain straight to midfield. And just like that, it's 30 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Martin Tigers, and they get it to midfield. Thanks so much for everybody who's listening right now on 956sports.com. I'm Clay Williams. Thank you so much for joining us. Sherryland ISD football. Tonight, Pioneer, Laredo Martin, Week 10. Next to last game for both of these clubs. Martin takes it up the middle, goes Daniel Martinez for about a 2-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 on the Pioneer 48-yard line. Already a minute gone in this third quarter. Second and 8. Roll out. Duran gets chased, taken all the way back, tries to throw it away. That could be. Throws it out of bounds. Will they call that an incomplete pass? No. Looks like it will be intentional grounding on Matthew Duran, who is being thrown down to the ground for about a 14-yard loss. Yeah, that's a loss of down. Intentional grounding on Matthew Duran. They'll take it back to the spot where he would have been sacked, which is back on their own 38-yard line. So that is a 14-yard loss and a loss of down for the Martin Tigers. Ouch. That's got to hurt. 3rd and 22. Shotgun, Duran rolling left, sacked Sacked and taken down for another huge loss. This one by Omar Garza, the linebacker of Pioneer. And it's another double-digit yard loss. Taken all the way back down to the 29-yard line. So just a 9-yard loss, but still that's got to hurt. And right now Martin, who was in Pioneer territory at their 48, now faces a 4th and 31 from their own 29-yard line after 2 sacks. So the Martin Tigers will punt. Abraham Escamilla gets it up and away, calling for the fair catch at the 35-yard line is Tyler Boltice. Comes up with it. 36. Pioneer will take over for their first offensive series of the night. 1st and 10 from their own 36. We'll see who they put in at quarterback is Jacob Rosales, the starting quarterback of this game. Will not return. On the sidelines in shorts and no pads. Didn't even come out carrying a helmet. Looks like at quarterback it will be Matthew Morales. Referees conferring with the Pioneer Diamondback coaches. Referees trying to get something settled here. As we are tied, Laredo Martin 13, Pioneer 13. Oh my goodness. A face mask and personal foul called on Pioneer, apparently on the punt. And that gives the ball back to Laredo Martin. Instead of Pioneer starting with good field position, it's Martin getting the ball back. They were facing a 4th and 31. Now it's 1st and 10. Even a 15-yard penalty only gets them back to their 44-yard line, though. So Martin will take over 1st and 10 after a costly penalty by the Pioneer Diamondbacks. Must have been, they thought, an intentional face mask. Ball handed off to Angel Davila, who is taken out after a 5-yard gain. Referee says he did not get out of bounds, so the clock will continue. Call it a 6-yard gain. Gets it right back to midfield. 2nd and 4 for Laredo Martin. Want to thank our sponsors, Sharyland ISD Football, live on 956 Sports, Marco's Burgers, and McDonald's. Remember, you're just hearing the audio live now, but if you want to see the game later on, check back in, 956sports.com or the 956 Sports YouTube page, and you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. Handoff, Laredo Martin, 2nd and 6, met at the midfield and stopped cold by the Pioneer defense, and especially number 32, I should say, Omar Garza, the linebacker, with a stop. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and a long 4, call it, for Laredo Martin. Directly at midfield on the 50-yard line. This game still tied 13-all. Third and 4. Laredo Martin with a full backfield. Only one receiver split left. The handoff to number 9 once again, Angel Davila. But once again, the Pioneer defense sniffs it out, and there is no gain. As a matter of fact, there's a loss of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 4th and 5 on their own 49-yard line for the Martin Tigers. Pioneers defense having a stellar game here. They average giving up 32 points per game, but have only allowed 13 through 2 quarters in the third tonight. Getting big stops and big sacks as Laredo Martin prepares to punt. Punting from his own 37-yard line. And there's a flag on the play. Another false start on the Martin offense. Folks, we are getting close to double digits in false starts and offsides penalties on the Martin Tigers tonight. They cannot seem to get it together when it comes to getting off on the snap. I'll swear that is either 9 or 10 of those penalties. 4th and 10 from their own 44-yard line, and the punt from about the 34 for Abraham Escamilla. It's a good punt. They're trying to stay away, and it takes a Pioneer bounce. Bounced on about the 27, but then bounced backwards where it was stopped on the 36. So a 9-yard bounce back. The punt goes the opposite way before it can be stopped by the Martin Special Teams coverage unit. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Pioneer. Now they take their first offensive series. We thought they were going to before, but a penalty negated that series, gave it back to Martin, but they weren't able to do anything with it. 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. In is Matthew Morales, the quarterback for Pioneer. He goes long, he goes deep, but it's very short and off to the left. No one in the vicinity of the pass. 2nd and 10 for the Diamondbacks. Not sure if that one was intended for William Proctor or Enrique Hurtado. Came about halfway in between both of them. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Up the middle to Logan Harris. Logan Harris gets 4 yards up to the 40-yard line of the Diamondbacks. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. Logan Harris and Jose Garcia, the running backs in the backfield with Michael Morales. I believe I called him Matthew before. It is Michael Morales, the quarterback now, who takes the ball, rolls out left, looking, and he is sacked. A big loss down to the 25-yard line. That is a 15-yard loss for Pioneer on that as Morales is sacked. They'll give him a little extra on that and say he's taken down at the 28 apparently, but it still brings up 4th and 18 for Pioneer, and they will have to punt. Nothing doing on that offensive series. Tyler Bultice, high snap, but gets it. Gets off a small pooch punt there. Not a whole lot of altitude on that one. It only comes out at about the... Let's see where the referee spotted. It'll either be the 41 or 42-yard line. It'll be the 40. None of the referees apparently were watching where the punt came out of bounds, but instead of that, the 42, they'll give it to him at the 44-yard line. Martin gets a break there and an extra 3 yards on the punt. They will start off 1st and 10 from their own 44. Duran under center, hands it off, straight up the middle to Daniel Martinez. A big gain for Daniel Martinez. That's a 13-yard gain and a 1st down, and takes it into Diamondback territory. Good blocking up the middle for Daniel Martinez, who found the holes. 1st and 10, no huddle. Martinez up the middle again. Once again, gets good yardage on that one. Looks like about 6 yards on the carry, down to about the 38-yard line of Pioneer. Martin is moving on this series instead of moving backward the way they did the previous one. Handoff once again. Once again, it's Martinez trying to follow his blocker, but he's had it wide open, but he tripped over his own blocker's feet. Only gets about 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. Martin snapping it fast, perhaps trying to wear out the Pioneer defense. In the shotgun, Matthew Duran. Apparently that's an interception. Everyone on Martin stopped because they thought it was an offsides. Instead, it's an interception and a big run back by number 21, Jacob Calvillo. Calvillo intercepts it on about the 10-yard line and takes it back all the way till he's pushed out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. So call that about a 34-yard run back. Never mind. It was offsides on the defense. Matthew Duran had a free play, and he took it. Didn't matter that he got the intercepted. Hard count apparently took the Pioneer defense by surprise, and instead of an interception, it's an offsides, and it's a first down for the Martin Tigers on the Pioneer 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Duran in the shotgun, hands it off there to number 22, Jose Castaneda. The sophomore takes it for about looks like about a 1-yard gain maybe. Call it 2nd and 9. Handoff once again to Castaneda. This time he finds a big hole and gets the first down. Takes it all the way down to the 20-yard line. Castaneda, both hands on the ball, barreling through, following his blocks. But they'll take it back 2 yards and say it's not a first down, and they'll spot it at the 22. So 3rd and 1. Quick snap, handoff, but Daniel Martinez is met in the backfield, and met in the backfield hard by number 29 of Pioneer, Angel Chapa. We've been calling his name all night, and the linebacker gets another huge play, keeps it from being a first down. That brings up 4th down for the Martin Tigers. 4th and 3 on the Pioneer 24-yard line. What will they do here? Both teams desperate for a win to stay alive in the playoff hunt in 31-5A. They will go for it. 4th and 3 on the 24-yard line. Fake handoff. Duran keeps it. Heads up. Goes straight up after the fake handoff and gets the first down. But there is a flag on the play over close to the Martin sidelines, but I believe it's against Pioneer. It is offsides on Pioneer. It was already a first down. It will stay a first down. 1st and 10 for Martin from the Pioneer 19-yard line. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Still tied here at Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. 13-all is your score between Laredo Martin and Pioneer. Duran this time under center. Matthew Duran. The quarterback fakes, takes it out, rolls out to the right side. Bootleg. Gets it to about the 16-yard line. Call that about a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Pioneers defense didn't let Duran get anything. Kept him out wide on that one. 2nd and 7. Duran under center. Fakes, nope, handoff. Handoff straight up the middle to Castaneda. Jose Castaneda. For another, call that 4 yards. Brings up 3rd and 3 from the Pioneer 16. The handoff, this time to Daniel Martinez, who's met at the line and stopped, but there is a flag on the play. Offsides, this time on the Martin Tigers. Player down for Martin. Trainers coming onto the field. Looks like an... Yeah, number... I believe that is offensive lineman Justin Trevino for Laredo Martin. They turned him over, stretching out his leg. Meanwhile, Martin, when they get the ball back, they'll be facing 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 from the 17-yard line of Pioneer. Looked like a cramp. Trevino will get up. It is a warm, humid night here in Mission, Texas. Less than 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. Still tied up, 13 all. Mission veterans Laredo Nixon and Sherryland have all clinched playoff spots already. Rio Grande City is on a bye. These two teams fighting for that last playoff spot. A timeout has been taken after the injury timeout. Laredo Martin wants to talk about it. They take their first time out of the second half, facing 3rd and 8 on the Diamondbacks' 17-yard line. Mission veterans and Laredo Nixon will both be Division I teams. Sherryland will be a Division II, as will the fourth team, whoever that may be, Rio Grande City, Pioneer, or Laredo Martin. They will also be Division II when the playoffs begin. Whoever this final team is that makes the playoffs will most likely face Mercedes in the first round of the playoffs once we get there. But we are still in Week 10, still Week 11 to go before we get to the postseason. Timeout is ended. Laredo Martin facing a 3rd and 8 on the Pioneer 17-yard line. In the shotgun, Duran falls back looking to pass. Passes towards the end zone, but on the play is number 3, Enrique Hurtado. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Tyler Bultice on the play. Bultice, fast closing speed. Down and out route, headed towards the sidelines at about the 5. Bultice came on strong at the end, knocked the ball away. So now it's 4th and 8 from the 17-yard line. And Laredo Martin will attempt what looks to be a 34-yard field goal. Abraham Escamilla puts it up. It's high enough. It's far enough. But it is wide. It is just wide right. And Laredo Martin comes away with nothing. Another stellar effort by the Pioneer defense, playing one of their best games of the season tonight when they have to have it. So Pioneer will start with the ball on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Can this offense get anything going without their quarterback, Jacob Rosales, on the sidelines in shorts? Will not come back in this game. Matthew Morales, once again, that is Michael Morales, the quarterback, handing it off to Michael Benavides. Gets an 8-yard gain. That's a good play for Pioneer. 2nd and 2. Handoff again. This one goes to Logan. That one again to Michael Benavides. First down, Pioneer. It appears that if Pioneer is going to move the ball, it will be on the ground. Once again, it's a handoff. This time it's to Logan Harris, who breaks loose at the 40. He's at the 50, down to the 40, and out at the 41-yard line. A big run for the big senior, Logan Harris. Big run. Call that a 29-yard gain for Logan Harris, who put on some sweet moves there. And finally gets pushed out at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. And the handoff again, this time to Michael Benavides, who takes it around the left side, dodging, trying to get out of the way, but instead, no gain. Stop for no gain. The Martin defense strings it out far enough until they can catch up with Benavides. It'll be 2nd and 10 on the Martin 41-yard line. 45 seconds to play in this third quarter here in Mission, Texas. The handoff, it's a bad snap, handed off late to Michael Benavides, who is tackled in the backfield. They're going to say he got back up to the line of scrimmage, give him forward momentum, and it's no gain instead of a loss of yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10 on the 41-yard line. No huddle offense. Snap back to Morales. Morales was looking to find Enrique Hurtado, but Hurtado was knocked off of his route while the ball was in the air, and so the referees are calling pass interference on number 17, Jonathan Diaz. All Diaz did was bump into Hurtado, but they're going to say that was interference enough. Kept him off of his the ball was in the air. So you have to think that that's a pretty decent call. Spot of the foul it goes, so it goes down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Pioneer after a big pass interference call just then. The handoff to Michael Benavides. Gets a 4-yard gain. That'll make it 2nd and 6 from the 29-yard line of the Martin Tigers. Counting down, 9, 8, 7. We'll get one more play in before the end of the third quarter. It's a handoff to Logan Harris, who takes it up to the 26-yard line, and that is how the third quarter will end, with a 3-yard gain by Logan Harris. So, after 3 quarters at Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas, your score is the same as it was 1 quarter ago. 13-13, all tied up between Laredo Martin's Tigers and Pioneers Diamondbacks in this huge 31-5A game. You are listening to 956sports.com and their live presentation of Sharyland ISD football. I want to thank our sponsors once again, Marco's Burgers and McDonald's. And thank you so much for joining us tonight on a warm, muggy night in Mission, Texas. A huge District 31-5A, basically an elimination game. Lose this game tonight and you are eliminated from the playoffs. Both teams playing with a little desperation. 3rd and 5. Morales goes to the air. Looks, finds. What a catch. What an incredible catch for a touchdown by Roel Cajero. Cajero, the 29-yard touchdown catch, had to wait, had to jump up for it, jumped over his defender who was not able to look back for the ball. Cajero jumps over his defender, comes up with the ball in the end zone for the touchdown for the Diamondbacks. Michael Morales, the big touchdown throw. It's a 29-yard touchdown, the first play of the fourth quarter. And the kick from Lozano is up, and the kick is good. Point after attempt is there, and with 11:53 left in the fourth quarter, your score, Pioneer Diamondbacks 20, Laredo Martin Tigers 13. Morales, who looked a little shaky in his first 2 drives after starting quarterback Jacob Rosales, left with an injury. But Morales looks much more confident that last drive. Roel Cajero, that is his 7th touchdown catch of the year. Big play for the Diamondbacks, who break the tie. 20-13 they lead now as they get ready to kick off from their own 40-yard line. The kickoff rolls, bounces, rolls down to about the 12-yard line where Martin comes up with it. And Martin Cesar Jimenez knocked down strong by number 60 for Pioneer. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Tigers on what looks to be their own 26-yard line. So Martin now down 7 points, but with the ball. Duran, handoff up the middle to a charging Daniel Martinez. Martinez gets about 6 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 4 for Laredo Martin on their own, call it 34-yard line. Duran rolls out right on the 2nd down play, looking for some room, can't find any. Instead, it's a loss on the play. He'll lose about 2 yards as he went all the way to the right sidelines before he was taken out by the Pioneer defense. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Martin Tigers from their own 32-yard line. Duran in shotgun. He'll look to pass and finds a receiver in the flats. He finds Matthew Carrion down the right-hand side. That's a 1st down at the 45-yard line for Laredo Martin. And it'll be more than that, as it's a roughing the passer foul on Pioneer. So they get to the 45, and they'll get another 15 yards from there. That'll take them to about the 40-yard line of the Pioneer Diamondbacks. A huge personal foul called on roughing the passer. Bad news for the Pioneer defense, good news for the Martin offense. So 1st and 10 for the Martin Tigers, looking to tie this thing up. They start on the Pioneer 40-yard line. Full backfield in the shotgun. It's the handoff up the middle to Daniel Martinez, who has a big, big hole open. Almost gets the 1st down. Stopped just a yard short. That's a 9-yard gain. Took it right off the left guard's shoulder and got a big, big gain. 9 yards, 2nd and 1 on the 31-yard line for Martin. The handoff once again to Daniel Martinez, and he gets the 1st down. He gets it all the way down to the 19-yard line. Big gain again, as it is Daniel Martinez gashing the Pioneer defense now on this particular drive. That'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Martin Tigers. In the shotgun, the handoff to Angel Davila, tries to get around the right side, but after only 1 yard gain, taken down by the Pioneer defense. They're not letting much happen on the outside, are the Diamondbacks. So 2nd and 9. Dropping back to pass as Durrani goes to the end zone, but overthrows his receiver out the back of the end zone. The receiver, Matthew Carrion, wants a interference play, but that one was uncatchable. Third down and 9. And up the middle goes Daniel Martinez. Gets about 7 yards, but it'll still be 4th down and a long or short, about 2.5. Well, so with 4th and 3 from the Pioneer 13, Laredo Martin decides to take a timeout. That's their second timeout of the half. They'll have one remaining with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in this game. Pioneer leads Laredo Martin 20-13. Eight minutes and 36 seconds remaining at Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas. Laredo Martin down 7, 20-13, facing 4th and 3. On the Pioneer 13-yard line. In the shotgun, Matthew Duran hands it off to Daniel Martinez up the middle, looking but stopped short of the first down. A huge play by the Pioneer defense. And Laredo Martin will turn the ball over on downs. Big play for the Pioneer defense that has come up with some doozies tonight. Their defense definitely the most maligned part of this squad. Having given up 32 points per game on average tonight, they've only given up 13. And Pioneer will take over on their own 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Once again, starting quarterback Jacob Rosales out, not to return. That went out late in the second quarter. Michael Morales, the quarterback here with a handoff. And it's about a 2-yard gain for Michael Benavides. Logan Harris on that carry. That'll bring up 2nd and about 8. Second and 8 for Pioneer. The handoff. Once again, it's Logan Harris. Gets a much bigger hole this time around and a much bigger gain, about 5 yards. Down to about the 22-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and a short 1 for Pioneer. No huddle. And the handoff once again to Logan Harris, who stopped short of the first down. That'll bring up 4th and 1. 4th and 1, and it looks like Pioneer is bringing on the punt crew. It's 4th and a short one, but they can't afford to give Laredo Martin any kind of field position, not only up 7 points. 4th and 1, and here comes the punt from Tyler Bultice. Low punt, but it gets into Martin territory and down to the 41, and that's where it will be stopped. And that is where the Martin Tigers will take over. With 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in this game, and Pioneer holding a 20-13 lead in this big game in District 31 5A. First and 10 for Martin. In the shotgun, Matthew Duran throws it to the right side, finds Matthew Carrion for about a 5-yard gain. Quickly taken down by the Pioneer defense. Meanwhile, down in Farr at Valley View High School, the Mission Veterans and Sherryland game was close, but now Sherryland has taken a 20-point lead. At the end of the third quarter, your score 48-28 in favor of the Sherryland Rattlers. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 5 for Laredo Martin. If this result holds, Sharyland, Laredo Nixon, and Mission Veterans will be tied for first place. Handoff, Daniel Martinez looking for room, sliding to the left, finding another hole, and getting a first down. Second effort, big for Daniel Martinez. Gets the 1st and 10, and gets it into Pioneer territory, as the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 on the Pioneer 46. In the shotgun, Matthew Duran takes it on the 1st down. Goes long. He's got an open receiver. Oh, good. That was a fantastic pass defense there. The Martin coaches asking for a flag there, but the ball hit the defender on the shoulder before the defender hit the receiver. That's a fantastic play by Tyler Bultice. So, huge play. Incomplete pass. Great defense by Pioneer as Martin goes for a long pass on 1st down. 2nd down, nothing doing for Daniel Martinez, who is dropped at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Martin Tigers. Obed Hernandez on the tackle for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. 3rd and 10. The handoff up the middle, but that one's been sniffed out by the Pioneer defense. Daniel Martinez actually a 1-yard loss. That'll bring up 4th and 11 for the Martin Tigers as the clock keeps ticking down. We are under 5 minutes to play in this game. Diamondbacks leading Laredo Martin 20-13. Fourth quarter down at Valley View High School, and Sharyland has cut it to a 48-35 Sharyland lead. Duran rolls out right. Oh, looking down the field, overthrows his receiver, almost intercepted by Bultice. And the ball will go over on downs. Nixon needed to get that one. They felt they had to. Instead, the Pioneer defense makes another terrific stop. And you can bet that Pioneer will look to run this clock down, as with 4:24 to play, they have a 7-point lead and the ball on their own 47-yard line. Pioneer taking over. Michael Morales at quarterback. If you're just joining us, Jacob Rosales, the starting quarterback, out with some sort of injury. On the sidelines in shorts, will not come back into play. Handoff. Big hit at midfield on Logan Harris. Gets a 3-yard gain there, brings up 2nd and 7. Want to thank you so much for joining us for live play-by-play of Sharyland ISD football on 956sports.com. I'm Clay Williams. 4 minutes left in the game. Diamondbacks lead the Tigers 20-13 at Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission. Huge 31-5A game. Loser is eliminated from playoff contention. 2nd and 7 at midfield for Pioneer, looking to run this clock out and get the win. The handoff goes to Michael Benavides, who gets the 1st down and more. Martin trying to strip the ball as they go down. Instead, Benavides gets a couple of extra yards and takes it down to the 38-yard line of the Martin Tigers. Big, huge gain, big, huge 1st down as the clock keeps ticking. Martin with only 1 timeout left in this game. They had to use one when they were facing 4th down from the 4-yard line. They came up with nothing. Now they have 1 timeout left as we are down to 3 minutes left in this game. The Diamondbacks still retaining their 20-13 lead. Pioneer 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing. Michael Benavides stopped by a host of Tigers. It'll be 2nd and 10. And the clock keeps ticking. ticking down on the playoff chances of the Martin Tigers. Morales looks to the sideline for the next play. 2.5 minutes remaining in this game. Trying to milk that clock for all it's worth. Play clock down to 10 seconds. And the Diamondbacks still with all 3 of their timeouts. Not that they want to use any here. Hand off to Michael Benavides. Benavides cuts out left side. Cuts again. Nice juke and gets the first down. A huge play for Michael Benavides, who takes it all the way down to the 24-yard line of Laredo Martin. Another first down, and that brings us down to within 2 minutes left in this game. The Tigers have to make a stop, at least get it to third down if they want to get the ball back, but now we are under 2 minutes to play. 20-13, Diamondbacks lead. They've got the ball. They're milking the clock, trying to run it down and come out of here with a win and stay in contention for that 4th and final playoff spot in District 31 5A. Play clock down to 3, 2, and the snap to Morales. Hands it off straight up the middle to Michael Benavides. Benavides gets about 4 yards. And Martin takes their final timeout of the game. 1:29 left in this game. Martin has just taken their final timeout, but the Diamondbacks are still moving. It's about a second and 7 from the 21-yard line of Martin. Martin needs a miracle. Pioneer defense playing as good as they've played all season. Coming up big on a night when the starting quarterback went out late in the second quarter. Both teams back on the field, 2nd and 7, 1:29 remaining. Martin needs to make a stop if they want to get the ball back. It's a handoff. Once again, it's Michael Benavides. About a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up about 3rd and 3 from the Martin 18-yard line. They will milk the clock again. 25 seconds left on the play clock, and we are now down to a minute left in this game, and the Tigers are out of timeouts. Meanwhile, in 31 5A action, a minute left in Laredo, and Roma has just taken the lead over Figueroa 21-17. Roma looking for their first win of the year. And Pioneer takes a timeout with 42 seconds remaining. They milk the clock down as much as they possibly could. Only 42 seconds left in this game in regulation. Pioneers Diamondbacks with a 20-13 lead over Martin's Tigers. Both of these teams identical records coming in, both 4-4 overall, 3-3 in district. Thank you so much for listening to the game live on 956sports.com, or perhaps you're watching it later, getting to see the video replay on 956sports.com and 956 Sports YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks to our sponsors, Marco's Burgers and McDonald's. 42 seconds remaining. 3rd and 4 for the Pioneer Diamondbacks. It's a handoff to Logan Harris, who does not quite get the first down. Gets about 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 4th and about 1 for Pioneer. But the clock keeps ticking, and we are down to 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And that will do it because the play clock is at 20. And as time runs out on Laredo Martin and their playoff hopes, your final score from Richard Thompson Stadium in Mission, Texas, is the Pioneer Diamondbacks 20 and Laredo Martin 13. A big, big win for the Pioneer Diamondbacks, who stay alive in the District 31 5A playoff hunt. A tough, tough loss for the Martin Tigers, who are now eliminated from playoff contention. Pioneer and Rio Grande City still alive for the final playoff spot in District 31 5A. Pioneer's final game of the year will be at Roma at Gladiator Arena in Starr County, coming up next Friday. Meanwhile, Martin's last game will be against rival Nixon, also next Friday at Shirley Field in Laredo. A big, big win for Pioneer and a huge, huge performance by the Pioneer Diamondbacks defense. Giving up 32 points per game, but today only giving up 13 when they needed it. So once again, your final score from Mission, Texas. Pioneer Diamondbacks 20, Laredo Martin 13. I'm Clay Williams. Thank you so much for joining us live on 956sports.com, or perhaps later when you're watching the game. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Marco's Burgers and McDonald's as well. That's it from Mission, Texas. Final score, Pioneer 20, Laredo Martin 13. Thanks for joining us.